Welcome. Being able to enter grades and provide feedback for work submitted by students is a helpful and valuable feature of Blackboard. In this session, we will examine how we can enter grades and feedback, and we will also take a look at how we can contact the students directly via email from the Grade Center. When you see the white exclamation symbol on a yellow circle, it indicates that the student has submitted the work and it is ready for grading. When you see that icon, we can click on the chevron to access the details associated with that item. The interface for entering grades and feedback is similar for all assessment items. However, you may notice some minor variations between them. During the process of grading, you can enter a numeric grade. You can view the Safe Assign score. The Safe Assign option is available only for an assignment. You can use the rubric that has been attached to the assessment item. Enter feedback. You can also use the annotation tools. Once again, these tools are only available for assignments. When we select the View Grade Details option from the Grading Center, we will be presented with a screen similar to what you see here. From here, you can select the Exempt Grade option if you want to exclude this assessment item from the student's final grade. Second option here that can be used is the Clear Attempt option. This option is similar to deleting the submission. Keep in mind that this will permanently delete any record of the student's submission. The third option here, which is Ignore Attempt, may be useful when you have set a limit to the number of submissions and the student has reached the maximum number. So if you click on Ignore Attempt, it will allow the student to submit again while you retain the original submission. Now let's talk about reaching students while you are grading their work. You can email students directly from the Grade Center by clicking on the chevron and then selecting Email User option. Another handy way to send out a reminder message to students who have not submitted their work is by selecting Send Reminder. This option is available by clicking on the chevron next to the assessment item. Now let's go to Blackboard and see how we can implement these different features. Back in the Sea Turtles course, I'm going to the Grade Center, Full Grade Center. And we will be grading this assignment. And in order to do that, first step is to click on this chevron. Now it looks like this student has submitted 2 attempts. And so I can click on the attempt and go directly to that specific attempt. Or I can click on View Grade Details, which will give me several other options. So for right now, let's go ahead and do that. If I wanted to remove this submission, I could just clear the attempt. It will delete the attempt. You will not be able to retrieve the submission later on. I could also ignore the attempt. When I ignore the attempt, notice that it says the attempt is ignored. And I can reverse that decision also. If I were to use the exempt option, I would be selecting exempt, which means that this grade for this student will not be calculated into the final grade. As you can see, there is no way to reverse the selection for exempting the grade. So if I wanted to reverse that selection, I would have to return to the Grade Center, click on that chevron here, and then clear the exemption. And so now we are back to square one. So let's go ahead, click on View Grade Details, and then click on View Attempts. So what you're seeing here is the first attempt that is submitted by the student. And I can select whichever attempt I want to grade from here. When I click on the second attempt, what I'm seeing is that the student has indicated through a text submission that the first file was the incorrect file. In order to view this file, I need to click on it. Once the document is displayed, I can use the annotation tools that are available up here to annotate. So for example, I can use the pen tool, I can select the color, and I can do freehand drawing and circle things. I can also use the geometric shapes that are available here, and I can also add text. Similarly, I can select this option and I can add comments which will not be visible on the document but as an attached comment accessible by clicking on the icon. Now coming to this side, I can enter the grade for this assignment right there. So I could just go in here and enter the grade. The other option here is to view the Save Assign report. So clicking on Save Assign opens up the option to view the originality report. Now in this specific instance, I have submitted the same file for a number of assignments, and so you're seeing that there's a 100% match. So let's see how we would use this report. The originality report will indicate the content that matches the content in a different document. If I click on it, it shows me what this current paper is and what the original source is. And then clicking on this icon will open up the source to which it is being compared. Just because the score is high does not mean the student has plagiarized. So it's always a good idea to view the originality report before taking any action. The other option we have here is the assignment rubric. I can select the grade that the students earn for each of these criteria. Alternately, I can click on this icon here and it opens up the rubric in a new window, and I can continue to do the same here. So for example, here, since I have included a range of points, I can also fine-tune it. And as I select these items, you might notice that this value here for the raw total is changing. I've selected the grades. The raw total is 112.5. Now I can change that and decide that it's going to be 115. And now when I click on save, that number is updated over here. So this is where I would normally enter the feedback that the student will see. And again, once the feedback has been entered, you can click on submit, and the student will now be able to go into her gradebook and view not only the score, also be able to view the rubric, and will also see the feedback that I have submitted. Now let's see how we can send an email to the students from here. So in order to send the email to the student, I would click on this chevron and then email user. And then I'm presented with the standard email interface. Once the message has been submitted, I can return to the Grade Center. Another feature of Blackboard which you may want to consider using is the option to remind the students who have not submitted a specific assessment. So I can click on this option here and select Send Reminder. Just keep in mind that the email that is sent from this option is very impersonal and it is not very well formatted. This is what that email looks like. And so if you would prefer to create slightly more personal message, you may want to use the option to send email from here.